Hello, everybody. My name is Dr. Dev Bose. I do go by Dr. Bose, but in emails and formal written announcements, if you want to call me by my first name, Dev, I'm happy to go by that as well. If we ever meet in person, like if we say talk on the phone or asynchronously, or um, or like via Zoom, I should say. Um, So, just a couple things. First of all, welcome to this course. I sincerely appreciate the opportunity to work with you. I've been at the University of Arizona for this is my fifth year, but I've been teaching writing for, well, gosh, since about 2002, I want to say. So, about 17, yeah, 17 years now. So, I've been working as a teacher for a while. Um, and I'm really excited about working with you all and this course, English 306. The course description is genre and how writing works. Right off the bat, I just want to tell you first about the textbook that you will have to purchase. You can also rent it. It's called How Writing Works. And I'm actually want to show this to you on the screen because I want to make sure that you all get the right one. Okay. There might be a couple different copies of this floating around on the internets. Okay, so you want to make sure that you get the right one. It says How Writing Works, a guide to composing genres with readings. Do please make sure that you get the whichever one you end up purchasing or renting says with readings. Otherwise, you won't be getting the right edition, and you won't be able to follow along with the assignments. Um, Authors Jordan Jack and Katie Rose Guest Pryall. Um, it's a really helpful text, and I think it will help to supplement along with the D2L readings that I'll post online the course. So let me just tell you just a few really quick things about English 306 in order to prepare you. Advanced composition is extended study in rhetorical knowledge to support writing development. As an upper division writing course, students will be expected to bring in more of their own disciplinary writing tasks and demands to the public, working independently on projects connected to your writing life. Okay, so there's going to be a lot of focus on your writing experiences that you do in your professional and personal lives. Okay, and as well as in your academic lives as well. So I, as an instructor, am really curious to see how the way writing affects your life in the personal, professional, and academic worlds. Okay, you are going to be doing a lot of that. A lot of your assignments in this course will be focusing around those topics. So we'll pay particular attention to understanding how writing works across the disciplines and in various professions. We will explore the concepts of discourse and genre with insights for composing. We will read about and learn to analyze discourses and genres both linguistically and rhetorically. We will also apply these insights in composing a variety of academic, professional, and public texts. So a few things I want to say about that. The two big key terms that you'll be learning a lot about this during this course and writing about from your own personal, professional, and academic experiences are discourse and genre. Okay, so what are those terms? Real briefly, so when we talk about discourse, we are referring to the way a group or an individual communicates within stakeholders within her field, as well as how that field communicates with the rest of the world in order to make their knowledge known. Okay, so that's what I mean by discourse. The other thing then we think about is genre. Genre is also one of the big terms to unpack, and when we think of genre, we think of certain conventions that make a mode of communication work. And the thing that we have to think with genre is that genre is it's fluid, so it's constantly being it's dynamic, it's constantly shifting, and the other thing with genre is that it's created by the communities. It's created by communities, right? Okay, so as something that is produced, discourse and genre are intertwined terms. And it sounds a little bit sort of big, theoretical right now, but I promise you that that if you delve deep into the assignments, if you participate in the course to the fullest extent, working with your peers as well as me, your instructor, I think you will have a much greater understanding of those two terms in regards to how writing affects your life. Okay, so my thing is, I always want to make sure, stressing to my students that I want to know how writing affects your life, and I want you all to know, be able to understand not only the impacts of writing, but to learn different ways to write in various communities and in various genres. Okay, so connecting it all together, right? Through both formal and informal writing activities, this course emphasizes awareness of how writing differs across environments and guided practices in shifting purpose, style, and register. Okay, so purpose, style, and register are all various aspects of writing that you all will be learning about. Okay. So real briefly now, I want to just tell you about the course and specifically grading. I've already told you about the textbook, how writing works. Major projects in the course will include examining examining a familiar genre. In this case, it is going to be a blog post where you end up building a bunch of different like samples, creating them, putting them inside of a corpus folder, and corpus is just kind of like the fancy name for body. And so when we think of a corpus in this course, we're going to be thinking about students creating their own body of sample familiar genres, in this case blog posts, before producing your own expert blog posts. So that will be what you're going to be doing for project number 1. For project number 2, you'll be researching an unfamiliar research-based academic or workplace genre. It is multi-pronged, so it's going to take place in several steps. There's going to be a series of short, informal, and formal analyses that will help foster your big final project for your research. Okay. So essentially, when you think of project number 2, it's going to be you all doing a bunch of research, okay, on an unfamiliar academic or workplace genre. So bearing all that in mind, project number 3 is going to synthesize or put together all that. Project number 3 is a historical analysis of the academic workplace genre of the research that you did in project number 2. So building on project 2, the third project explores the history of a genre in a specific context, which involves looking at the genre over a specific historical time range. Okay, that could be over the past 30 to 50 years, or if it's something that relatively new, you're going to be thinking about what's called a genre tree, which scholars in my field, specifically who study genre, think about in terms of how newer genres that we think of today, yeah, kind of like blogs, have sort of a history steeped in other types of genres. Okay. So you'll research older examples and write a historical narrative of how the genre evolved over time. Okay. Finally, and this is going to be something that you're going to be doing throughout the course, throughout modules 1, 2, and 3, you're going to be rating a labor log and sustained reflection. During the course, you will keep a record of your time or labor on various projects. You will write formal and informal reflections on your research and writing. Taken together, you will reflect on how your definition of genre and discourse, remember those two big terms, has evolved with insights about how it will inform writing habits in future contexts. Okay. By the way, if you don't know where I'm reading from, because you're like, hey, what is he reading from here? I am looking at the English 306 syllabus, which has been emailed to you, as well as put into an announcement. Okay, so the other thing, and this will be the last thing, one of the last things I talk about, is the grading contract. provided that you all do that provided that you do what's asked of you in the course, that you do the work in the spirit that it was asked, you'll by default earn an 85% or a B in the course. You do extra labor, and I'll explain what that extra labor entails. You can earn up to a 90 or a 95 or 100% in the course, which all of those things lead you to an A. Okay, so why do we do this? All right, so the research in labor-based grading contracts shows that the more labor that student writers reflect on in writing classrooms, the more that they reflect on that labor, the more that they write about it, the more that they constantly produce and are always thinking about the labor that they're and the time that they're putting into work, really the more success that will come from the class. Okay, that is the research, very briefly, very broadly speaking, on labor-based grading contracts. Okay, and I can refer you to more books, articles, if you want more information on that. But again, essentially, you'll be using this contract. Just want to stress, researchers have stressed that grades dampen creativity, courage, and enthusiasm. They foster competitive environments instead of collaborative ones. They cause students to focus on teachers' experiences more than their own work and progress. This is traditional grading, right? Okay, so what I want to stress to you all is that for this class, there's going to be a lot more emphasis on feedback, not only from me or instructor, but from peers as well. Much more collaborative, so that you all are thinking less about the grade and more about the work that you are putting in. Okay, I hope that makes some sense. If you want to earn a B in the course, I want you to please read starting at the bottom of page 4 of your syllabus, what exactly you need to do to do that. Page 5 of the syllabus discusses some things for earning higher grades for each unit. Okay, so for each unit, you might want to do an additional peer review. For each unit, you might want to do a major revision. For each unit, you might do something around style and design. And for each unit, you might want to go something that expands your public presence of the work digitally, if that is in fact something you want to do. I've mentioned 4 different things: additional peer review, major revision, style and design, or going public. For each of those things that you do, you can potentially earn up to 5% more on your contracted unit grade of 85%. So if you meet the conditions for a B contract 85%, then your grade can improve thusly. Okay. Of course, you do have to be able to get an 85% for each assignment. That will include extensive online participation, sharing and responding, turning in late or incomplete work on time. There's a chart in the syllabus that explains that in a little bit more detail. Same thing with missed work, and your work being copy edited. Okay, so all right, so that is the labor log. We are going to be using Google Drive quite a bit in the course. Google Drive, yay! So if you haven't used that before, I'll try to send out tutorials. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about how to access Google Drive, please do let me know. Depending on my preferences, depending on and your preferences as well, I will most likely be sending material from another Gmail account. If you all prefer to get your materials sent to another Gmail account other than university, please let me know. Otherwise, the default is that your materials will be sent to your campus Gmail account. which you already have turned on, by the way. That's so if you've never used Google Drive in a course, it's pretty easy to turn on. The thing that I would suggest is if you have any questions first regarding that, go to UITS, um, uh, which is which is our information technology, and they can at the University of Arizona, they can tell you all about that. Okay, so this has been quite a long introduction. I appreciate your listening the whole time, and let me know if you have any questions. Again, I'm Dr. Bose, and I look forward to working with you all. Okay, take care, everybody. Bye bye.